Hey, this is Charlie Farren, and you're watching Show Me Your Pick with Fruitcake Tony. Looking forward to it.
All right, so we are live. Welcome.
All right.
Saturday night, just a little after Saturday night.
Gary Hoey.
Ho, ho, hoey.
Ho, ho, hoey. Charlie knows him.
9 p.m., April 27th. Fruitcake Tony, Brendan B. Squared, Ed DeBrill, Charles Green. Show me your pick. What's up, fellas?
Hey, how's it going, Tony?
Good to see you guys.
Yep, always nice to see you.
Yeah,
man.
Showing all the picks off.
Everybody good?
AAF. Yes.
Everybody's good. My last night of vacation up here.
You're kind of extra good over there, Brendan.
I am. This is not, as people can see, it's not my normal spot, right? So I'm on vacation. Came up for a long weekend.
Like more relaxed than usual. I was something's up. That's all I'm saying.
It's that'll end tomorrow.
We're all jealous.
The stress will come back in. Get ready to go back to work and deal with all that crap. But that's okay.
What are you gonna do, man?
You know what? It's all
clean bill of health now, though.
Oh yeah, I'm good. Everything's great.
Thanks to Lake George.
You betcha. Heals everything. So yeah, how about you guys? How you doing? How's the weather down there, Tony? Charles?
Good, dude.
Gorgeous.
Well, you know how the weather is up here, right?
You know what? We got a sprinkle of rain for like 45 minutes today. Life's tough. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, it's rough. Yeah.
Yeah, enjoying spring and springtime weather. We got a big show and a special guest tonight. Charlie Farren is with us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is.
We're gonna have a good time tonight.
We're gonna pull later on some 10-shot rock and roll trivia. 10 questions about music and rock and roll for you. Tonight, we're playing for a cool M72 tour. Kurt Hammett picked one of these little things that he
little
did.
Jazz pick?
Yeah.
Kurt Hammett.
All right.
Yeah. So, we're playing for that a little later on. And 10 questions. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Absolutely fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we already got 25,000 people in the chat. It's crazy.
Whoa, 25,000.
Let's go ahead and open up the chat. I never open up the chat until we're live. I never peek. Let's see
who we got.
Let's see who's here. I'm going to start at the bottom. Guitar Man 45 is in the house. What's up, Bo? Good to see you.
Hey, Bo.
See you,
How you doing, buddy?
Right on, brother.
Quentin James. What's up, Q?
Q, what's up?
Right on, dude. All Dave, all night
There it
is in the house.
Dave, what's going on, buddy?
Sandra Pokorney,
Sandra,
co-creator of this show, is in the house. Always great to see you, Sandra.
Good to see you.
Your night is going awesome. Let me see. Six Fingered Assault is in the house. What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy?
Jeff K. Good to see you, my man.
Right on, Jeff.
Jeff.
Good to see you, brother.
All righty. I'm scrolling upward. Christopher Live Sober in the house. What's up, Chris?
Big trivia winner. There you go.
There he is. Jacob Bedingfield. What's up, man?
Hey, welcome.
Good to see
Right
you
on,
again,
you
dude.
guys. Good to see you, Jake. Good to see all of you guys.
Right on. All right, I'm scrolling up. Let's see. All right. I see Charles Green. I see Ed. I see Brendan. They're hammering the chat. Mitch Heyman's here, Charles.
Mitch, what's up,
Mitch?
buddy?
Right on, Mitch.
R2, R3, Lock and Nut is in the house. Our Van Halen brother.
What's up, R2?
R2 rocks, brother. Right on, R2. It's good to see you,
All right,
bro.
I'm going to scroll all the way back down. If you're just joining, say hello in the chat. It's Saturday night. We're talking the Joe Perry Project with special guest Charlie Farren. All right, I have made it all the way down. I'm going to take a sip of tea. We're going to bring Charlie in. All right. Everybody, you know him from the Joe Perry Project. Mr. Charlie Farren, there he is.
Right on.
All right. Hey, Charlie.
Charlie, how are you, sir?
Hey, folks. I'm great. I'm great. This is
Welcome.
fun. This is unusual and fun.
It's like a Zoom meeting,
It's like,
right.
it's not
but a lot more
serious.
fun. It's not work.
It's not,
No, nobody's having problems with their routers or anything
Right.
like that. So
Yeah,
you'll be
nope.
fine. You'll be fine, Charlie. We're talking
knock
about
on wood.
guitars.
I hope
Yeah,
not.
it'll be fine. It'll be all good.
Andy, good to see you, dude.
No,
So
Andy
how's
Carter.
the weather down in the Carolinas?
It is lovely.
Well, you all look very lovely tonight as well, so we're off to a good start.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
You may
Thanks
be
for
lying,
being
but
here,
thank
Charlie. All right, so Charlie, a lot to talk about, and a lot to see. Let's change the view here. Let's get a little more proper of a view. How's that?
you.
All
There
right.
we go.
Right on.
All right.
All right. So Charlie, what has been happening as of late? I know you stay at it. What's going on in your life with music right now?
Well, at the moment, I'm reimagining a lot of songs in my song catalog and re-recording them with one guitar and one voice. And it's a challenge because to make it sound like a rock record with just one guitar track or one vocal track is a trick. But my thought is that that's how I perform now. And I like the idea of stripping it down to just nature, you know, the guys singing and playing. Everything is so computerized now and auto-tuned and sequenced. And I don't think you hardly ever hear anything on the radio anymore that's actually played. So I thought I'll go the other way, stop chasing technology and just work on my songs and work on my playing, work on my lyrics. And so I have about a dozen things in the can at this point, but I'm going to keep going. I have 16 albums worth of material, and I want to pick the best ones out that work for solo performance and redo them as just a solo, stripped down performance, honest to God, rock and roll performance. So that's what I'm focused on right now. That and the fact that we discussed earlier that I have 7 grandkids and all their friends, and then all my kids, all as house guests this week. That, along with puppies and
Wow.
people dropping in, we have a madhouse over here this weekend, this whole week. So that's what I'm working on this week.
Charlie, can I ask you a question about family? Just a quick question. I saw you on a podcast, former podcast, and you were telling a little bit about your children and how they. I believe your son played saxophone.
Yeah. High school band. He's it was a social thing, I think. But my kids are all creative and artistic and musical.
Welcome, Eugene.
But not really pursuing this as a passion or career.
So my question to you is, sometimes that music thing skips a generation, and you've got all these grandkids now. Any prospects of one of them showing some musical interest?
Well, I think that they all have musical interest because music is just always happening over here. So they have an interest in that. We have ukuleles and keyboards and xylophones and all sorts of instruments, just, kid instruments, just around the house. Mm-hmm. And that's always a mainstay. That's just the way it is here. But as far as pursuing this as a career, that's a passion I had. And you really, really have to have that if you want to if you want to sustain yourself through a long career in this crazy business.
Yeah. So Charlie, I guess the best way is to go all the way back. Kind of explain at an early age, as a young kid, what got you into playing music.
Well, I loved listening to I loved, my parents we had a record player. They always had their records. And I was always taken by songs. I love instrumentalists, but for me, it's a song thing. And it's a lyric and melody and chord change thing. And I was always drawn to that. Even as a little kid, I loved, without even knowing who these people were, I loved, Jimmy Webb and Burt Bacharach and some of the great Gershwin, Johnny Mercer songs. When a song came on the radio that just really clicked, obviously the Beatles are, some of those early ones, but even earlier than that, a song like Exodus or some of the great Tony Bennett songs that Tony Bennett sang, Frank Sinatra sang. When it was a special song and it had that chordal change that just touched my heart, I thought, what's happening here? This is something happens. Something's going on here. And that always stuck with me. And it still does when I hear something like that. It's very rare. But when you hear something like that, you think, this is really special stuff. I've always been drawn to songwriters as opposed to, fire-breathing musicians. It's always been about, Paul Simon and Joni Mitchell and, those kinds of writers have always been the ones that I gravitated towards.
So Charlie, being a local guy like yourself, and I'm wearing all the garb you can see. I first encountered you in 1987. I was at show number 8, and if you guys don't understand this, I'll tell you. Back in 87, Boston came out, or 86 actually, they came out with Third Stage, and it was a big to-do, and because they haven't made an album since Don't Look Back, and it was quite a while.
Yes.
And it was crazy, and they played 9 shows in 13 days, and I was at show number 8, by the way. And I saw Charlie Farren with Fahrenheit on stage
at the Centrum.
At the Centrum in Worcester, and with the coattails, the whole get-up, and that's when I first saw Fahrenheit. And I think I might have seen you on MTV with Fool in Love, yeah. But and I saw you then. And I said, these guys are good. Obviously I was waiting for Boston. I mean, being a supporting act, you got to kind of appreciate that maybe some people are like just waiting for the main act. But I appreciated you and your music. And the next time I saw you was 2010, 11. I was at my sweetheart bought me some tickets to go see Gary Hoey at the
Oh,
auditorium,
yeah, I know
and
Gary.
she bought tickets. I actually won a guitar, by the way, at that show because there was a raffle of some sort, and she won, and I got the guitar. It was a nice Fender Starcaster. Anyway,
that's a nice guitar.
yeah. But I gave it back to Gary for a raffle that he had for a fundraiser, and he made some money off of it. So I gave it back for charity to him.
Gary's always doing stuff like that. You know, he's
a great guy.
He's a mainstay, and he's been doing it. You know, Gary's quite a few years younger than me. But he's been doing it. Anybody who's been doing this for 20, 30 plus years deserves my kudos for sure. And Gary certainly is one of them.
Yeah, he's an amazing person, and I love him. You know, and we're very proud of you too in this area. I mean, and I'm sure everybody around the country knows Charlie Farren because you've been everywhere. And
old.
Yeah. But that was a great show, though. I mean, you were with John Butcher. I think you did a little FBI stuff, and Lita was there, and it was the Hoey tour or whatever. And I had a great time, and that was pretty special.
And recently, I did a show with Sherry Curry, who was also a bandmate of Lita's and the Runaways.
Yep.
And we toured with Joan Jett at one point. I can't remember if it was with Joe Perry or Fahrenheit, but you know, over the years, you really get to cross paths with most of these guys, most of these folks.
A lot of people, a lot of people. So I love our local connection, and I saw you at Boarding House Park as well.
I did Boarding House Park. I can't remember last year with Max Weinberg from Bruce Springsteen's band.
Yep.
And he was a delightful guy. I played there with Hoey one time. I mean, I played there. You did. At least 7 or 8 times I performed there.
There's, great. I'm sure if you put a thumbtack on every venue that you played in the area, it would fill the map because you've been everywhere. I mean, the Bull Run. I mean, you know, Salisbury, the Blue Ocean Music Hall, Tupelo. I could go on and on. But those are the 3 times that I saw you perform. Then there was one time I was at work, and I work for a plumbing and heating company, and well, we do swimming pools as well. But my boss came into the office, and he looked a little flustered, and he said, "Ed, guess who I just met?" Who? He goes, "Charlie Farren." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, I didn't know who he was at first. I went. His daughter bought a house, and he needed some work, and he all of a sudden he comes out of the car, and I said, you know, I looked at him and I said, that's a rock star, and he asked you who you were and so forth, and then we did work for her, and I told him, I said, I want to be involved in this, so I helped out, you know, with straightening stuff out there, and then we put a heating system in for you at your home.
Yep.
And one day I was about to go home, and they said, "Ed, Charlie's having some issues. Can you stop at his house on your way home?" I said, "Absolutely." So I got there, and I was a little nervous, and because I'm such a music fan and such a fanboy, I guess, I went in the basement there, and I started to work on things, and you were there, and we started talking about music and people you toured with in Boston, and Jay Giles and all that stuff.
Al G, what's up?
And that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
30 feet away from the furnace.
That's right. And you had a home studio in the basement, I remember, with all the banners and everything there. And you told me all kinds of stories, and I couldn't concentrate really on what I was doing, which was fine. But we need to get heat to your house. But and then you brought out your some of your equipment, and you were showing me stuff, and I got to tell you, Charles, you'll appreciate this. he brought out this guitar made by Dean Campbell,
Oh yeah.
and I think it was amazing. He opened up the case, and I'm sitting there next to a heater, and he opens this up, and
That one.
there it is, right there. There
Actually,
it is.
this was the prototype that I made in the garage, and then
Oh.
Dean built, a really nice one, and he built two of them, and then I think he had a downsize. But Ernie Bach has the other one. So there's two production models made in this prototype, and then he kind of scaled back. But Ernie has one, and I have one, and Ernie's is on display at the Bach Center, the music hall in Boston, and it's in a glass case.
Charlie, could you please hold that up higher so we can look at the trim and get a good look at the tail end and the tail?
Right? Yeah, Washburn, Wunderbar, and then the headstock. And again, this is the prototype. His is a little bit fancier than this. This was me hacking through it in the garage, but I played this at shows. This is a great guitar.
That's absolutely custom. Can we see
custom.
the back, please? Can I see the back cavity? I got you. I love it. Look how thin that is.
It's really, really light and thin. And
Oh my
big.
goodness.
Yeah.
Your guitar playing over the years, not talking about your singing, because that's a whole nother conversation, actually. Your guitar playing over the years, I was so impressed with you and Joe Perry project. I thought that had Joe decided to really give it a go and not have the looming, Aerosmith's always looming in the wings, their shadows always there. Not only did you have to fill the shoes, as far as the public's persona of what the new thing from Joe was, of Steven Tyler, you came into something with Joe. I get the vibe why Joe hooked up with you. When you play guitar, you're self-taught, and you play guitar through your singing, your vocals. They drive the way that you harmonize, and and it is truly unique. And it's unique in a way that Joe Perry, who is also an incredibly unique guitar player, give me another name of someone who plays guitar like Joe Perry. I don't know anyone. But you fit with Joe so well because you have a unique style to your playing. And you make that guitar talk. You make it talk. And as you sing, you added an element to the Joe Perry project that was truly original. And I wish that it really gotten a chance. Oh, pardon me. I didn't mean to cut you off, sir. Say that again.
I just said that's nice to hear. Joe is my preference in a band situation always is to have a hotshot lead guitar player, right?
Yeah.
You can't do better than Joe Perry. And the thing about Joe is that, the thing about me is that I'm a foundational self-accompanist. I'm not a hotshot player. I mean, I can break loose and play some stuff, but my thing is always about foundational self-accompaniment. And today I play fingerstyle, and it's all about chords and the movement of the voicings and things like that. With Joe, it's riffs. He's a riff guy, and I was really interested in watching him write and learning, just seeing how he comes up with those riffs. We wrote "I've Got the Rock and Rolls Again" together. Mm-hmm. I thought that he was super generous in giving me a writing credit on that because he said, I got this song, it's called "I've Got the Rock and Rolls Again," and then he played the riff. And I thought, well, there's the whole song. It just needs a bridge. And he said, well, here's the bridge. It's just like this punk rock bridge. And I threw some words together and made it. But when I play that foundational guitar style, lets the lead guitar player really fly. He doesn't have to think about holding down the fort. And I think a lot of times guitar players all think of themselves as lead guitar players.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit unusual to find someone who's happy and competent fill in the shoes of the foundational rhythm guitar player.
Well, I want to say publicly, and me and the boys here, we all agree on this. Your contribution to the Joe Perry project was absolutely wonderful. It was unique. It was fresh. And to see the way that you have come across, the last couple of decades and the way that you've changed, we've actually, as fans, got a chance to see where all that came from and how it's all kind of come into fruition here. I saw you doing a solo acoustic show, and you did that song Impossible World.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you in the chat, if you've never seen him play this song, you need to do yourselves a favor. Now, you'll enjoy more than one. I promise you that. But this is kind of what I'm talking about as far as the diversity of Charlie's style and the way that he complemented everything that he's had his hand in, especially in Fahrenheit. We'll go down that road in a second. But Charlie, the gear that you used with Joe Perry, when I look at the old videos, you look at Joe standing in front of this mountain of cabs, and they're all kind of haphazard and looks like one's going to fall over.
Right.
So Joe Perry. And then there's a rack over to the side. And then you look behind you and you've got what you need. What were you playing? Do you remember what you were actually playing through?
Yes, I do. When I first started in that band, I had two Vox Super Beetles and the Royal Guardsman. And that was a fantastic looking rig, but I couldn't afford cases for those. So those would get just thrown in the truck.
Oh, and my gosh.
They didn't really last. They didn't really age well through those tours. And at some point, it just made, and I couldn't hear them anyway, So at some point I just said, why don't you, and this was before, this was in 80 and 81. And this was before they had sophisticated PA systems like they do now and monitor systems. So I just said, instead of me having a big stack of amps, you get your stack. David has his stack. Just give me 2 1x12s, and I'll sit them in front of myself with the monitors, and you could put it through the PA, and I won't even be coming off the stage. So that's what I did. I had 2 40-watt 1x12 speaker cabinets, and I just put them facing me, and they could mix in whatever they felt they needed into the house.
Wow. And you had plenty of stage volume.
Yeah.
Well, so you come out of that foundation, you've got to see gear just absolutely just morph and go in different directions. And you have stuck to roots. You said that earlier. You stuck to your roots. You kept things simple. You went to simplistic and went to your own organic quality in what you do. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't use pedals. I mean, I sculpt my sound, but I don't operate pedals when I perform. Again, that's the hotshot lead guitar player's role. I'm playing foundational guitar parts and singing against that, and that's the way I've always focused, and that's what I still do. Especially as a solo,
Can I ask you a quick side question? Where did you learn? When did you learn to use your fingers as a percussion device on an acoustical guitar? Because you either saw someone do it, like Dickie Betts or something. I don't know. Where did you learn to do that?
Well, I didn't. I've never taken lessons, and at some point I would say, oh yeah, I'm self-taught, but that's not really true. I've learned from everyone I've ever played with. You know, I've taken things from everyone I've played with.
Sure.
And over the years, I just kind of developed that. It just felt like it fit with, you know, I sing and play at the same time. I don't practice my guitar. I practice my songs, and I play every night, and I sing when I play. And it isn't, I don't play scales. I don't play leads. I just play my songs. And that's the approach. And it just morphed over the years to what it is today. It isn't something that I copied or thought about, hey, I want to play this way. It just turned out to be this way. And it feels natural and it feels right. So that's kind of the approach for me. It was different with Fahrenheit. I was a little bit reluctant to go out as a trio. It was from David and Muzzy's encouragement that we went out as a trio.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to always joke, people say, you know, you play lead guitar. And I say, well, no, David plays the lead guitar. He's the bass player. And I'd hit a great big fat chord and hit down, you know, do that type of thing. And I always thought we were like Green Day in that way, you know.
I kind of think of Motorhead a little bit when you said that.
Yeah,
I had a vision of Lemmy doing the same thing. That's
right.
Crazy. That's awesome.
It wasn't about guitar solos. It was about songs for us. You know, I love guitar solos, but that's not what I do. I like, you know, even when I was younger and I went and saw Jimi Hendrix, I love Jimi Hendrix and I love his records. And I was a little bit disappointed that he spent most of his time just playing lead guitar. And I was thinking, I want to hear the songs, you know, give me the songs.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of touched on the songs, but most of the time he was, you know, playing lead guitar, and I wanted to hear him play the songs. So to me, I like to go to a show and see somebody really execute the songs. You know, that's my thing.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Does anyone else want to just inundate this gentleman with questions, or you want me to keep going?
Oh, no, I do. I wanted to ask, you know, talking about songs and songwriting, I wanted to hear the story about the unfinished song that Brad Delp had that you finished. What the story was behind that, because that's I'm sure it's a great story, and Boston's a great band. Brad was a great guy.
Yeah,
I know you knew him well, and I wanted to hear a little bit more about that, because that's a cool story.
Yeah, we were doing. I did a lot of stuff with Brad, and I think we were working on a record with Ben Orr from the Cars, and Brad and I were singing backup on that record, and you know, like two guys on a microphone, like facing each other on the microphone. It wasn't like overdubs. It was real background vocal. And I think we sang on every song on that record. And afterward, he said, hey, come out to my car. I got this thing I'm working on. And I listened to it, and right away it reminded me of Yesterday, the Beatles tune. And it was called Tuesday. And it was, I thought it was a lament about a lost romance. And I said, this is fantastic. But it was, excuse me, it was set up like 4 separate verses. And he was always saying, I got to get a chorus. I got to get a bridge. And he, it's probably misstating it to say it was an unfinished song. But I think that as he explained it to me, he always felt like it needed that bridge or that chorus to make it complete. He did put it out. He did record it. And I was fooling around with it one day when I was getting ready to release my new record, which ended up being called Tuesday. And I remembered that song, and I got in touch with his family and just said, hey, who I know, you know. And they said, yeah, definitely do it. And they sent me a demo that Brad made of it.
That's great.
And I kind of swizzled one of the verses into something that sounds more like a bridge. And I'm really happy with the way that came out. I found out later that it was a song lamenting the murder of John Lennon, and I thought, wow, that's kind of heavy.
Wow.
It is
I
kind
thought
of
it was
heavy. Yeah.
I thought it was a love song,
Wow.
and when I finally realized that, I thought, yikes, that's a heavy topic. But yeah, Brad was a terrific singer and a great guy. He came out and sang on our Warner Brothers record in L.A., and we ended up not using the tracks. I felt terrible about that, but he was like, oh, no sweat. He hung out with us for a couple of weeks there, and
Yeah.
he was a great guy. And we toured. We did, I think, 80 shows with them in '87.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, the 9 nights at the Centrum. We did the Cotton Bowl. We did the several nights at the Tacoma Dome, 30,000 people. Every single night was sold out. So we were doing 3 and 4 nights in Philly and New York and LA and maybe 3 in Atlanta. So it felt like had residencies at some of these great big concert venues.
Residencies before residencies, right?
Exactly.
Now you have to go to Vegas to get one, I guess. So,
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great story. Thanks for sharing.
The Boston, I know all the Boston bands. I think most everyone knows each other on some level or another in Boston. It's a small town with a lot of great, the Cars, the Jay Giles guys. I was friendly with Jay and Danny and Seth, and I mean all these guys. So I mean, it's a really tight community of musicians and friends. It's a great place to live, great place to come from.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, 85,000 at the Cotton Bowl too on that tour. Should I add?
Yes.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
How nervous were you?
You don't really get nervous. I mean,
no,
you don't get nervous. You know what you're doing. You put your whole life into it. You're out there doing it. Philip Bino was in my band for a while. He's out touring with Steve Vai now, and obviously Extreme is just kicking the world on fire right now. And they're from out here, and they're just fantastic friends from a long time ago. And they're that young kind of group.
So did Gary grow up in the same neighborhood as you? Because I know you're both from Malden, correct?
Gary Sharon, yeah.
Sharon, yeah.
Grew up in Malden, right.
Right.
I didn't know him growing up because, again, he was
the age
like 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And but I knew them when I first started doing this, I left school saying I got to learn what I want to. I got to learn what I need to know. I need to know how to get that sound out of my guitar, and I need to know how to have a professional band. And I would go to the clubs if we got a gig. I didn't show up for sound check. I showed up for load-in because I wanted to see where did they put their cases. How many crew guys did they have? I wanted to know everything. And I remember when Fahrenheit, well, actually it was called Balloon before I joined up with Joe. My band was clicking. I mean, we had some songs on the radio when we started to play regionally across New England. And one of the bands that used to open for us quite a bit was Extreme, and they were called The Dream at the time. And I remember Gary and Paul, and they would do the same thing I did. They would show up for our load-in, because they wanted to learn everything, right? And I said, those guys remind me of me. Right? And so I always had an affinity because he was from Malden, and his brothers play, and that's a musical family, and it was fun to see them click. I mean, this is really their second arrival, right? They were a big band in the 90s.
Yep.
And now they're really clicking big, so I'm happy for them. But all of the Boston bands, the Cars and Till Tuesday. Robert Holmes was in my band for a while, and
oh wow,
yeah, he's a great player. And you start talking about people, and you can't mention everyone, so I don't want to leave anyone out. But I had the project with Bouchard, and Johnny A is doing some things now, who's making some noise, and Sal Baglio, who who always had the Stompers was a big active town. And you also find that in New England, a lot of folks who were in major touring acts kind of settle around here, and then they do shows. There's a contingent of really great pro people up in Cape Ann, which is up in Gloucester. There's a bunch of guys that were in Joe Cocker and Tina Turner's band who settled down in the Worcester area, and so there's a lot of great top-notch musicians who quietly kind of live around here, who play around the clubs. So there's really, it's kind of like the Northern Nashville, if you will.
That's true.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
I've seen Gary a few times, and he's really good. But so David Hull, did he change his name legally to Height, or was that just a stage a show business thing?
Well, so we were thinking, what are we going to call it? What are we going to call the band?
Yeah.
And I thought, Fahrenheit is such a great name. It's such a natural thing. And I could tell he was like, because it wasn't my band. That wasn't my band. That was the three of us. It was his band.
Okay.
And David and I co-wrote all the songs. Muzz was the drummer. He probably should have gotten some co-writing credit. If we had put out a second record on Warner Brothers, Muzz would have gotten credit. So we did that, and it was almost like a thing that we talked about in interviews for a while. It wasn't really a thing. It wasn't legal. It was just something that we said, conversationally. But he's got a new project. Before he was in my band, of course, he was in the Joe Perry project on the first album too.
Yep.
Great record. Great singer Ralph Morman was on that record, and before that, he was in a band called the Dirty Angels, and they were from Connecticut, and they toured a lot, and they had some records out. I don't know the label, but before that, he left high school to join up and tour with the Buddy Miles, and Buddy played for Jimi Hendrix, so he had that Jimi Hendrix connection and did some jamming with Jimmy when he was young.
Wow.
And when we were touring together, I had known him for over a year at that point. And one night we went over to his family home when we were down in southern New England, and we went into his home, and he had a gold record on the wall from a record he made with Ted Nugent. And I thought, dude, I've known you for a year and a half, and you never even mentioned that you have a Ted Nugent gold record.
The Nuge? Wow, that's great.
Yeah. And I don't know the name of the record, but yeah, David's been doing this for a long time, and he's just a top-notch guy. When Tommy from Aerosmith got sick, they called on David. David did 2 tours with Aerosmith.
Wow.
Where Tom Hamilton was on hiatus, so he's a top-notch guy for sure.
Yeah, he's filled in a lot.
He's a great writer
for Tom. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great.
You go, with the Joe Perry project, opened for my favorite band of all time, Rush, and on the Moving Pictures tour, oh man, I get goosebumps just still thinking about that. And I mean, Rush is my favorite band. It must have been amazing just touring with those guys. I mean, touring with anybody, but for me, being a Rush fan, I'd be like, man, that's like a dream come true for me.
Well, I knew of Rush, and again, Rush didn't really break until after I was in the music business. So now I'm in it, and they're in it too. And I wasn't really a fan. It wasn't because I didn't love them, but it was because I was doing it too,
Right, of course.
So when we went to see them, I mean, when we went to play with them, I was just really taken aback at how full and powerful it's created.
As a trio, it's just crazy.
And one of the things they did was both the guitar player and Geddy had Moog synth pedals that they would, they'd step on that, and it sounded so huge it would just move the stage. So David said, "I got to get one." So he got one.
Nice.
And we brought that out on tour with us. And I got a guitar synth, and we were trying to channel a little bit of that Rush power that we were so blown away with when we played with them.
Yeah, they're so technical. It's so crazy to do all that at the same time. But
They were
Yeah,
really good. They were really good.
but it's nice. I mean, it is cool to hear your side of things too. That not as much being a fan, but doing it with them. You're like, yeah, we're doing the same thing, man. So I'm out here doing this too. It's great.
Yeah, and wow, I'm out here doing this too, but they're doing it better. So we need to go and have a meeting, guys. There's a lot of wake-up calls when you're out on the road touring with the best of the best.
Well, it makes you better, Charlie. It makes you. It steps up your game, and
It sure
you can
does.
totally tell. Or you
One
wouldn't have
of the
been doing it
things-
for this long, right?
One of the things that I love to do is, as a singer, and as somebody with the kind of philosophy that I have in terms of being a foundation player and a singer, there are a lot of these all-star jam band kind of tours, and I'll get the call to kind of be on the stage and do the singing, right? Play guitar and do the singing, but there'll be a whole lineup of smoking guitar players, and usually in that lineup, Howie is one of them, Skunk Baxter, Barry Goodrow, Jay Giles, Johnny A, John Butcher. I'll leave people out. I don't want to do that, but
That's a great picture right there.
It's we have some. Franny Sheehan would play with us. James Montgomery would go out with us. The Uptown Horns, the Rolling Stones horn section.
Wow.
Elliot Easton, Elliot Randall from Steely Dan. And I would sing some Doobie Brothers tunes and some Steely Dan tunes and some, Jay Giles tunes. So I get to do a lot of those songs, a lot of those gigs, and you get to meet a lot of people on that level too. Mostly guitar players.
Excellent. That is excellent.
So you must have played with Kenny Aronoff because everybody has.
I have, and not not a lot, but I did some shows several summers back with John Fogerty.
Oh, there you go.
And he was touring as the drummer. Now, I have a lot of friends that know him, and in the circuit, and they would say, "Hey, when you see Kenny, tell him I said hello." Right. So I walked up to Kenny at the first show. I said, "Hey, I was talking to so and so, and he told me to say hi." He said, "I don't know who he is. What are you talking about? Who are you?" And I said, "Well, Charlie, and he manages Johnny Lang, and he does Sampato. I don't know who that guy is." And all of a sudden I get a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and there's Kenny, because he has a twin brother.
No.
So they were jerking.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a twin brother. And so that was my introduction to Kenny. Great player. He plays with everybody.
He
He played with
does.
Mellencamp for a while. I did some shows
Yep.
with Mellencamp band. They were touring with Ian Hunter, and I did a bunch of shows with them. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you ever think about writing a book, Charlie?
I don't know if I'm a book writer. Maybe if there's a book writer out there who
Maybe a
wants to do book.
ghostwriter?
Yeah, if somebody wants to write a book, I'll sit and talk with them. But I'm a songwriter, so
Yeah.
I'm sticking to my lane. I'm staying in my lane.
It could be an audiobook.
Yeah, right.
The Life and Times of Charlie Farren.
That's fascinating.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yep.
So, you've actually played the national anthem at Fenway Park and Foxborough.
Yeah, I did a Patriots game. I've done several Revolution games, which is the professional soccer team,
Mhm.
and I've done Fenway Park 3 times,
Wow.
and I've done one for the Bruins too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the Bruins, and so And so that's fantastic to get to meet all those guys. And those guys are big, especially when they're on their skates.
Yeah, they're kind of intimidating.
Kind of. Those are some rough cats, man. I'll tell you.
So you had to walk out on the little carpet thing and could make sure you didn't slip and fall. And
Yes.
and, yeah.
There's a local, there's an artist, a songwriter, and a singer, Amanda Carr, who wrote a song called Boston Strong.
Yep.
And asked me to sing it, and I did, and it got some traction. And so we did a series of shows around New England highlighting that song, Amanda's song, and that brought us to the
that Boston
Bruins.
Anthem song was incredible. That video, I get goosebumps when I watch it. I mean, you in front of that screen with the images, and oh my God!
And Amanda put that all together, and
she did.
It involves, the Boston Symphony people, all the sports teams. She did a great job on that.
Standing.
It was really fun. It was really fun to do that. So, I get to do fun things.
Yeah, I guess. Wow, that was so amazing. And you played with Joe Perry I say not too long ago. It was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. You played with them again, and with Brad and Whitford, and
I did.
You guys were on stage again.
We did it several years ago too. Gary Sharon,
Yep.
David Hull, Brad Whitford. Great all-star band. Some of the guys from Guns N' Roses, the keyboard player, and Joe has a different lineup whenever I play with him, but
Seems that way.
sometimes I sit in and do 2 or 3 songs that we wrote together, and sometimes I just kind of special guest the show. But it's always fun to kind of reconnect with those guys, for sure. I mean, Joe's such an iconic guy. I mean, he reminds me of, the way he plays and writes reminds me of Keith Richards.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Monique. Nice
Hi,
to
Monique.
see you, ma'am.
Good to see you, Monique. Hey, Ed, Al's G in the chat, his last post, it's to you. So I want to give you the honor of asking Charlie the question, brother.
Oh, okay. There you go. Hey, Ed, I played with Charlie, with Jimmy D'Angelo, with Deep Six at the Hanover, and Lucky Dog in Worcester.
Yep.
Tell him I said hello.
Yeah, Jimmy D'Angelo was one of these guys who was the coolest guy in the room at all times. And he sang and played. He had several different bands around town. And he was the coolest guy in town for sure. And he passed away several years ago, and we miss him. But Jimmy and his brother, they had a band called Mad Angel. They were on some labels, and Jimmy had a string of different bands. But they were doing all the big, when I was first getting started, they were doing big shows with Jay Giles' band and opening for them, and Aerosmith. And we had a chance to open for Jimmy's band, Jimmy D'Angelo's band, Mad Angel. And it was one of those moments where I said, boy, we got to step up our game if we want to get to this bracket of bands, because those guys were way ahead of us. And that's another example of me showing up when they loaded in to see how they were doing.
There you go.
See how they carried themselves,
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I felt like if I'm going to not go to college and get into rock and roll, I'm going to go to every single class I can. And that included every single moment that I could be backstage watching the big guys do it. And I got to play with, Steppenwolf and, Leslie Weston Mountain and, Ronnie Spector and the Ronettes.
Wow.
And
That's excellent. How about Eddie Money? Did you ever meet Eddie Money?
I've done a ton of shows with Eddie Money.
Wow.
Very
I probably have done 30 or 40 shows with Eddie over the years. We miss Eddie. He was a guy.
Darn right.
What a great guy.
Great
It's
guy.
the best classroom in the world.
That's the
what you're
best.
doing.
It's
Right.
I say my education was from the best institution of advanced learning in the world, and that's called the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being Van Halen fans like we are, we're obviously big on Van Halen. Have you ever had any interactions with any of the Van Halen group other than Gary, obviously?
Oh yeah, well yeah, definitely. I had done a project. Actually, I recorded a whole record with Barry Goodrow, who was the guitar player in Boston.
Yep.
And we went, and so they Van Halen had toured opening for Boston at some point.
Yep.
And so I saw them twice. I saw them with David, and I got to meet Eddie and the band, and then later I saw them with Sammy, and I got to go backstage and meet them there too. And I thought Eddie was super down to earth and great player. You just see him warming up with no amp in the dressing room, and he was really quite a player. And I felt immediately like I knew him. He just seemed like somebody that I knew.
That's great.
They were terrific, and we also toured with Ozzy when I was with Joe, and got to hang around a little bit with Randy Rhoads.
Oh,
nice! Wow.
Who's another one of these original hotshot players.
Yeah.
And they had Aldrich, what's his name?
Doug.
Yep.
Playing drums.
Tommy.
Tommy Aldrich. Tommy
Yeah.
Aldrich. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Great, fantastic player. And I got to do a lot of cool things. I can't even. In the Boston tour was a thrill, and I tell you, at one point, Tom said, "Hey, would you be interested in playing a Rockman stack?" And I said, "Well, I have 3 stacks. We're a trio. David has 3 stacks. It's really a 3-stack thing." So we were doing a show, and one day the Boston truck pulls up, and they go up on stage and set up 3 Rockman stacks in front of my gear. And for the next year and a half, I played Rockman stacks. But the story is that Tom was generous. And not only did he give me 3 stacks of Rockman gear, which I eventually gave back to him, but he gave me his 12-track 1-inch recording deck that he recorded his first album on.
Wow.
Whoa.
I had an 8-track 1-inch Scully, and he had a 12-track, and he gave it to me. And I said, "Dude, this should be in the museum somewhere." He said, "No, we'll take it." So I had it and tried to get it working for a couple of years, and finally, I returned that to him because that ought to be in some kind of museum.
Yeah, no kidding.
He was a super generous cat, and always insisted that we had a sound check, and made sure we were taken care of on that tour. I did several other records with Tom too. At least 2 or 3 other songs I sang on whatever records. I think Corporate America was one of the records that I did, and a couple of others too. There's so much time between those records that I don't know what records they were on, but there were a couple of his later records I sang on. He's a really talented and unusual cat for sure.
Right. Let me ask you this, Charlie. But first, it's come to my attention.
Be right back.
Brendan has got a bail on us.
I do. I
Hey,
like I said,
buddy.
I'm still on vacation, and so my wife and I are going to go out, do a couple things,
All right.
try to
dude.
All right, hey, good to
make the
meet
last
you.
night count. But Charlie, it was such a real pleasure to meet you and hang out with you tonight, and I look forward to hearing a lot more music from you. So
Thanks, Brendan. That's
all
great.
right, it was great to meet you. Thank you. All right,
Have
guys.
fun.
See you next week.
See you, B.
Love you, Brendan. You be
Bye bye.
welcome.
Love you guys.
Right
See ya.
on, man.
Bye bye.
Right on.
All right. There we are. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, when you were with Ozzy, what was Randy like?
he was so I the thing is when you're out on these tours, it's all business. It's not what they show in the movies. It's a high income, all business kind of operation. So there's not a lot of fooling around. But my moments with Randy was, he seemed like a real serious cat, and he was always playing, and so we had some moments, but he was very introverted and very much into his guitar playing, and I thought at the time, I remember thinking he's really breaking some ground. I thought he had his own brand of style, and I think that him and Eddie and some others really kicked off that 80s, what would you call it, kind of guitar style that
Hey, Raymond, welcome.
What was that? I didn't miss that.
No, we had a new rival in the chat, Raymond.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Randy, I thought, was very serious, and I didn't get to know him. He easily could have been a fun-loving guy, but he seemed like he was very focused and serious on being really making the most out of his opportunity and being a really hotshot guitar player, and he was.
He was classically trained. I mean, his mom had a music school, and he was all about classical. Yeah, incredible guitarist, and gone way before his time. I mean, sad. So Charlie, you've done some duets, obviously, with Amanda, and I really like the song "You Are the Only One" with Candy O'Terry.
Yes.
If I was to get married again, I would have that as my wedding song, and I would probably hire you to play it. That was an awesome song. I mean, it's very, very lovely and touching.
Yeah, Anthony Resta helped me co-produce that with me, and Brad Hatfield, who teaches at Berkeley, really orchestrated it, and super talented guy. That was the only song that year, independent song, to actually chart.
Really?
Yeah, that got to. I could be wrong about the number, but somewhere in the 30s, it charted nationally, which is kind of a big deal, given that it was just me in my little basement here recording it.
Wow.
And then Anthony and his team mixed it, and it wasn't on a label or anything. So that was a thrill. That was kind of, I forgot about that.
It's a great song, and if you guys don't know, Candy O'Terry is a local DJ, and she played she was a DJ for Magic 106.7 here in New England, Boston area, and I didn't know she could sing that well. She's very talented.
She has a beautiful voice, and
yes,
she's branching out in a lot of different directions. I'm still in touch with Candy, and she's a special lady, very talented, and at the time, Magic was number one in the market. I mean, they were the top. And she was the morning person. So, I mean, she was pretty prominent at Boston, New England radio at the time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, very long time. We have a lot of other podcast channels that we follow, and we consider them brothers. There's a lot of shows. One of them is called Under the Bus, and another one is called Trans Trem Thursday. That's hosted by a guy named Ryan, and Ryan has the best tone I've ever heard in my life. That guy, and they play a lot of live music and so forth. But when I first heard Ryan, speaking of Magic, and it brought me to that thought. Ryan sounds just like David Allen Boucher.
Oh yeah,
Bedtime Magic. That guy with the voice, that soothing voice. Yeah. This guy Ryan sounds just like him, and he has the greatest guitar tone as well. So, anyway, he's one of our one of our friends online in the community that we share. But yeah, like I said, "You Are the Only One" was a fantastic song.
Yeah, thank you. I still perform that when I get a chance.
You do, but obviously you have to take on all the vocals.
Yeah, I mean, so the solo. I mean, I wrote it as the solo, and
Oh, you did?
We kind of built it up. Yeah, all my songs, I have a little nylon string guitar, and that's my songwriting guitar. And
Wow,
so they all start off stripped down, and that's how I'm recording them now. So yeah, that was a fun time. I forgot about that. Good bringing that up.
Hey, Charlie, was it a challenge when you first got with Joe? He's known for having diverse tuning of his guitars. He'll have, one of his guitars will be like it's just an open C. When he and you first got together, did you have any challenge changing? You know what I'm asking you because he's changing keys in a couple of songs. What was
tunings? Yeah,
his tuning.
Not really. You just pick up another guitar that's tuned to the right, tuning. I'm trying to think. South Station Blues was one that we did. That's drop D, and it was interesting to me to see his process. The guy works. He just plays and plays and plays and rolls tape, and then goes back and listens and refines and refines. I was surprised at how diligently he would work on songs, and then you saw the song emerging, and you go, "Whoa!" At first it was just, and then it would just morph into something. You say, "Whoa, that's how it happens,"
I got to give you a lot of credit, and I'm going to say it publicly. A lot of the flavor that the Joe Perry project had, a great percentage of it came from you, my man.
Wow, I mean,
it did. It did. Look, it did. It did. It's ironic, you were such a good fit with Joe. You still are. You're a tremendous fit for him.
I think it's a good fit. I have to say though that first record was smoking, and it was different.
Yes, it was different. It was different. Yes.
Yeah. But the record that they did after me with Danny Hargrove and Joe Pett and Mark Bell, Cowboy Mark Bell, I mean that had its charm too. It was I think that Joe surrounded himself with different characters, but it always was a Joe Perry record, but different spices, And, those guys are all friends of mine, and
yes,
I thought, yeah, that I mean, Joe Perry is going to make a great record, and he's going to have great people on this record. I mean, now he tours. He has a great lineup that he's touring with now, as when he tours with the Joe Perry Project, and it's fun to be part of that a little bit. And Joe is he's not like the schooled kind of player, but he really has a genuine thing that you can't learn. I mean that's built in.
He did, like you said, he surrounded himself with a variety of accomplished musicians, and everyone that he brought in kind of has their own flavor and their own flair. But you were his front man, and you were the man who represented that band publicly, not in just what we heard on the airwaves. That first album, you're very humble. That was the stuff. That was it.
You were the face also.
Yes. And the voice. I wish you guys, I'll say it again.
Ed and Charles, I'll be right back, fellas.
You got it, bro.
All right.
I wish you had the opportunity to actually give it more of a go and have some longevity with the Joe Perry project. It was tough for you to have to be looming in Aerosmith's shadow. I know it had to be, but at the same time, you took advantage of the opportunity. You brought your A game, And I'll say it again. The match that you made with Joe Perry was incredibly unique. And it would have been hard for him to have anyone else that I can even think of to come in there and actually compliments the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
His music. Because it was the Joe Perry project, but that first album, it takes men to make a band. Let's just say that. And your flavor that you brought to it is unique. And I'll say it again. 10 years ago, you did a solo show. I think it was MMTV. Well, it's been more than 10 years now. I think it was back in the late 90s. But when I saw that, I was utterly amazed. One man, one guitar, creating percussion as you fret out. Your music is not simplistic. It's not simplistic. It's not some simple 1, 2, 3 chord jam.
Yeah.
It moves with your voice, and as you're singing, it harmonizes and contributes to the overall experience.
Well, I'm glad that you hear that, because I'm a chord guy and I'm a voicings guy, and I like to set up counter melodies. And so, that's my style. In the Joe band, we were all creating for his style of band. Mm-hmm. And, interestingly, I never felt Aerosmith pressure. I never felt that. I felt like, wow, this is so cool to be able to do this on this level. And I was really psyched to be doing that. I always kind of felt like, well, this is going to end up at some point as an Aerosmith reunion. I knew that. I felt in my heart that was going to happen. So I wasn't disappointed when it started moving in that direction. And when it started moving in that direction, that's when David and I said, I don't want to sing more Aerosmith tunes. I want to continue to be myself. And it felt to me at that point, he had changed management, and it felt like they were kind of moving towards getting the guys back together. And I thought, well, they should be thinking that way. And I should be thinking, at the time I was working with Ahmet Erdogan from Atlantic Records, and he was the one who was encouraging me to do what I'm doing now.
Yes.
Acoustic guitar and voice. And, it took until, I think, after I left Hewlett Packard, to kind of just jump back into this and focus on performing solo guitar and voice. I should probably mention that to raise my family, when my first child was born, I stepped back from touring and I took a job at Digital Equipment Corporation, which was bought by Compaq, which was bought by Hewlett Packard, and I had a 22-year career at HP, and I did very well. Retired 15 years ago and got back into music with the FBI project.
Well, you did have the connections to do just that, so that's awesome.
And that's when I honed my solo stuff, and that was what Ahmed wanted me to do. And at the time, I felt like, oh, that's flattering, but really not a band. I couldn't picture that at the time, anyway. Now I can.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, Charlie, it's time for us to kind of segue into 10-shot trivia, I believe, guys.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Let's
Don't give them any hints, Charlie.
No hints. These guys are a savvy bunch.
They're very good. So
all right, before we start, though, Bruins up 3-0 over Toronto.
Yes.
Go ahead.
There you go.
There we are. All right. This gives us time to refill our cups. I just refilled mine. Ahead of it. Normally I'm empty, Charlie, and I can't refill mine. But this gives everyone, including us, time to have a little break, refill our cups.
I think the goal is to have full cups, to empty them first, and then fill. Yeah.
So we are going to venture into some 10-shot rock and roll trivia. We're going to ask Charles to keep score tonight since Brendan has departed already.
I am all over it.
Ask you 10 cool questions about music and rock and roll trivia. Tonight, we're going to score you a Kirk Hammett M72 pick from last season, 72 seasons.
Nice.
You didn't catch
So small.
it. Yeah. All right. So
I'd be afraid of dropping it.
our 10-shot rock and roll trivia game, if you are due to it, we ask you a question. I'm going to flash it up on the screen, and you're going to answer over there in the chat. Okay, so the first correct answer of all of you in the chat will be the winner of that question. We'll tally up after 10 and score out that cool guitar pick. We'll give you all of the show's picks and our guitar picks. If you don't have them already, I know who you are. You can win every week if you want. There's some tough trivia guys and gals here, Charlie. All right, everyone. Let me find these questions. The first correct answer that we see is the winner for the question. Let's find it. There it is. It's official. We are playing 10-shot rock and roll trivia.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
It is on. Question number 1. We're going to go there. Like I say, the first correct answer. Should you be the winner there at the end, there is a trivia winner's email down here in the description of the show. Trivia winner's email. Email me your name and address, and I will mail you out that cool Kirk Hammett pick plus all the rest. If you hadn't won here lately, yeah, good luck. We have a few more of those M72 picks. Thanks to
Nice.
Kurt's guy. Thank you, dude. We got a few more to share. All right. Good luck, everyone. Here we go. Okay. This English musician's career flourished in the 80s with hits like Valerie and The Finer Things. All right. So there is a 4 or 5 second delay, Charlie, between the StreamYard and out here on YouTube. So the answers take a second to appear.
Good answers are coming in.
Tommy Two-Tone.
Excellent answer, Monique. Absolutely.
Adam Ant.
Good answers. Good
Robert
answers.
Palmer. Wow, we got all kinds of.
All right.
And Monique, no, Charlie cannot play.
Interesting.
Traffic, that's a good one. Gary Glitter. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Interesting.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you seem thinking what I'm thinking. Well, and then right after, it's interesting. I'm gonna let you call that one, Tony. That's your call, brother.
I see it.
Well,
It's actually
Jay Turner chimes in with Steve Winwood, and that's correct.
Yeah.
But Ian's Guitar Shack ahead of him chimed in with Traffic.
Yeah, which was his band.
Which was, of course, but this English musician's career with hits like Valerie and The Finer Things are not Traffic songs, solo songs.
That is true.
So we got to give it to.
There you go.
That is true.
Jay Turner.
Jay Turner gets it. Okay.
Right on.
Way to go, Jay.
Right on, Ian. You're all over it. And the answer is behind him. Thank you for those. Jay Turner is on the board.
All right.
Right on, guys.
Right on. Zip.
1-0.
Well played, Ian, though.
Yeah.
Right
all
on,
right.
brother.
Number
right
2, we are going to complete the next line to a song. All right. And we have asked these style of questions in the past, Charlie, and I try not to sing it as I recite it.
I would.
Sometimes it's difficult. I'm going to do my best tonight. We're going to complete the next line to a song. I'm going to flash some lyrics up, and you're going to complete the next line. Good luck. All right. Too late. My time has come. Sends shivers down my spine. Body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Gotta leave. Complete the next line. Need all the words.
God, I wish I was playing.
Need all the words. Complete it.
Oh, man.
All the words, people.
Come on.
I think I did.
Not quite,
Bouchard.
Boner Jams. Close, brother, but not quite.
I didn't give it away as I spoke it.
I see it.
Hard to play.
Yeah, I see it.
All right. You all behind and face the truth. And Monique
Jay
is
again.
right behind him.
Just missed it, Monique.
Almost,
Right
Monique.
behind him. They came in boom. And those were the only two takers who recognized that song.
2-zip.
All right.
Nice.
Nobody else recognized that song. And that's like one of the most,
I know.
it's like the top 5 most popular song in history.
Especially in Wayne's World.
I spoke it right, though. I didn't sing it. A lot of times
you
it's
wanted
tough
to.
not to sing it. All right, number 3, we're going to show you an image of a band. And you're going to tell us who it is. Looks like Jay Turner's popped out to a 2-0 lead.
Hey, Adam Roach is in the chat.
Hey, Adam.
From Down Under.
Right on, Adam.
Welcome,
All
Adam.
right, kids. Adam, you're just in time. I'm going to show you a picture of a band. This is question number 3. Who is this? ID this band.
I think they played my school in 1976. Oh, I see it.
Boner
I see it.
Jams.
Right on, baby.
Boner
Boy.
Jams. All right.
Right on,
Dave
Boner,
all night,
man.
Right behind him. Sandra
Way to go.
right behind him.
See, Christopher, I thought Rollins too, you know? It is Rollins, right?
Yep. Yes, it is.
That's Henry.
But it's not the Henry Rollins band, it's Black Flag.
That's Black Flag.
Yep.
All
They're
right,
all
so
coming in
Boner
now.
Jams is on the board.
See how much you learned, Charlie, from this show?
Right on, Boner. Excellent, bro.
Yeah. All right, Boner. He's keeping him in the short grass, Charles, this spring. He is. I hear he's earned a new nickname. I don't think I'm going to repeat it right now, but I think he has a new nickname. Maybe later in the show.
Well,
Yeah.
his first
All right.
nickname is kind of, All right, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. There's a new one, though. I'm still laughing about it.
Okay.
Number 4, here we go. All right. We do kind of movie night sometimes. So, all right. You ready?
Yep.
I don't need a movie title. Just saying. Here we go. Number 4. In this 1980 movie Caddyshack, what song did Rodney Dangerfield play on his golf bag stereo from the fairway while he was playing behind Judge Smails? Need the song title, please.
Easy. Classic movie.
Nice.
Stairway to Heaven. No.
Song title.
No.
All good answers, guys, but
No.
read the question. Read the question.
Song title, please.
No, Monique. Hello, Hip Metal Works. Welcome.
Jay Turner.
Jay Turner got it. Yep.
Big Metal, it's good to see you, brother.
Any way you want it. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So Jay Turner has jumped on out there. So Jay has 3.
Jay has
and
3. Boner has 1.
Nice.
All right.
Jay
Somebody
Turner.
catch up to him.
Boom.
And we are starting question 5.
Yes. All right. Some of these are hard. Some of these are soft. All are fun. All right. Who's going to stop Jay Turner? You know, people get on a roll around here. Number 5. Who wants it? Who is the 5th Beatle?
It's a very good question.
How about a first and a last name?
I was going to say something funny, but I'll wait. No, it wasn't Charlie Farren. Although he'd love to be, I'm sure.
George Martin.
Jay, what the hell, man?
That's it.
I was going to say Yoko Ono, but all right.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh. George Martin's name always used to elude. I remember that their manager's first name was one of the boys, but was it John or was it? I couldn't remember. I always did remember Martin.
I was thinking Pete Best as well. A couple of people answered that, but
yeah. Well, there as far as not for membership, but he was known throughout history as the 5th Beatle.
That was a great question.
All right, number 6, Jay Turner's running away with it.
Yeah, come on, somebody stop this guy.
All right, Jay Turner. By the way, Charlie is a bass player in Mean Street. Mean Street is North Carolina's premier Van Halen tribute band here local to us, and he's friends with the show, and we're friends with the band, and they do it right.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we have all their guitar picks.
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch here. Mean Street, MS.
One of you guys needs to knock Jay off tonight, though. We love Jay, but
nice.
Jay, you're killing it, my brother.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So number 6, off we go. You ready?
Yep.
What is James Hetfield's guitar tech's first name?
This is for the metal nerds out there.
Yeah.
First name. That's all.
You gotta be. If you come up with this answer right away, I mean, come on. Corky? Oh my God, Jay Turner. Really?
Oh my goodness.
Hadn't come up.
Yeah, you are on fire, my friend. My goodness. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, what's the score at this point?
All right, so Jay has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct answers. Boner has 1. We are starting question 7.
So, wait a second now. So, if he gets one more,
he wins.
Well technically 5.
No, right now it's just between him and Boner Jams.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Boner has the opportunity to tie Jay at this point.
Right, but it's out of reach for everyone else.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Pretty much.
There, I see OU812 Ryan in the chat. Good to see
you. Right on,
Ryan.
Ryan.
That's the guy with the voice I was telling you about, Charlie. And the tone.
Charlie, he's got the best guitar tone on YouTube.
I'll have to listen.
Guys, it's a wet, dry, wet.
Yeah.
EVH style wet, dry, wet. It's more than impressive. Ed's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
It's easy on the ears, Charlie.
Yeah, very.
It is easy on the ears. Yeah,
It'll
it
make
is.
you play guitar. That's what it'll do.
Okay, so let's proceed.
You know.
Let's proceed here. We'll see what we're going to do
That
with
guy.
the questions after, if we have any spare ones left. But question 7 is for the collectors in the house. We're going to show you an image of a guitar pick, and you're going to tell us the player. Need a first and a last name for ownership of this plectrum that I'm going to show you. All right. Who owns this guitar pick? First and last name.
Come on, Boner. Boner Brian. Come on.
No, Ian, but I actually
there
know.
it is. I
Look
see
at
it.
that.
All
Wow.
day, all night.
All day, all night.
All righty.
He got it.
I see it. Mr. Mick is in the house. Good to see you, sir.
Mr. Mickey, you're late for trivia. Too
Good to see you, Mick. Right on,
Here
brother.
all along. He's lurking. All right, let's take this down. So it has been determined that Jay Turner is the winner for trivia for tonight.
Way to go, Jay.
Right on, Jay.
You rock, my brother. I'm going to hook you up. All right, so everybody, don't fret. We have, how many questions are left, Ed?
There are 3 questions left.
I was going to say, ask Charles. He's doing
8, 9, and 10.
All right, so 8, 9, and 10, that means, courtesy of Jay Turner, he smoked your asses, number 1.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You guys suck.
the good thing is he allowed enough questions to be left that we can create a new game, and I'm going to give you whoever we're going to play for 3 questions for another Kurt Hammett yellow pick.
Wow,
Just
you
like
are
Also-
Jay just
You're
won.
generous, man.
Also, Tony, Jay says that he would like to donate the win that he just got.
Oh,
Okay, 2.
me?
He doesn't say anything specific.
Oh,
All right.
He leaves it up to you.
I'll specify then. We're going to clear the board and do 8, 9, and 10 for the win.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Question
great.
number 8.
Whole new world, guys.
Thank you, Jay.
thanks, Jay. What a guy.
Right on.
That's awesome.
It's a new game. Everyone gets a mulligan. Hope I don't need one.
You play golf, Charlie?
I have that to look forward to.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Just wondering.
Okay. This is how it's going to go. Now Jay's on a roll here. Jay likes playing trivia. Jay could either rub it in right now and hurt you guys, or Jay could take it easy on you guys. We'll see what he does. All right. Nevertheless, we're going to question number 8, and it's anybody's game. Good luck. First correct, Never Learn Not to Love was recorded by the Beach Boys and released on the flip side of the single Bluebirds Over the Mountain in 1968. This song was supposedly stolen from who?
Excellent question.
Yeah.
I see the answer.
Sandra.
That's what I see.
Boom. Right
Oh,
on, Sandra.
Sandra, all right.
Sandra's the first in.
You still here, Sandra?
That would be that lady right there. Right on.
She's awesome.
Sandra is always here. She helped Charlie, she helped me and Steve Rosen launch this show 196 weeks ago. Yeah, we huddled up, me and her did. And so thank you, Sandra. It's always great to see you. You're winning this trivia at this time. Let's see. We got 2 questions left. Sandra's in the lead. All right. Okay, guys. Number 9. Here we go. Good luck. This company from 1970 to 2000 was a sound equipment provider of touring sound reinforcement equipment and services to the concert touring industry. It was based in Dallas, Texas. Name the company.
They got this.
You got this. You got this. And some close answers.
Does spelling count, Tony? Does spelling count?
No, but
I think we have an answer.
I guess we kind of need it on this one. Yeah, it kind of does.
Oh, okay.
He did.
It's okay.
He got it all.
You're good.
There it is.
Right on. Mr. Mick on the board, man.
He got it. Shoko. That's right.
All right.
Seen that logo splashed everywhere, haven't you? Yes, you have. All right, so Mr. Mick and Sandra are tied. I do have a tiebreaker.
Nice.
Question.
Nice.
In case we need it. Nice. I do have one. There is an extra question. All right, so we are going to question number 10. Now, question number 10 around here is our homegrown thing where you kind of got to know the show and you'll be good on this question. All right. Question number 10, drum roll, please. All right, here we are. Good luck. As revealed 2 weeks ago on Show Me Your Pick 194, Pat Benatar, name the city in which Fruitcake Tony, that's me, last saw Pat Benatar live. What city?
Oh.
Ooh.
Good one. I remember this conversation.
They're coming in.
Was in L.A.
Don't see it yet.
Nope. Last week at McDonald's? No, that's not it.
Got to know the show, baby.
That is funny.
Nice one, Jimmy Ray.
Oh, man, you guys, we've seen shows at all these venues.
Come on, a lot of you were at this when they were there. They heard you talk about it. Come on.
Oh, somebody might not get it. All right, so we were talking about this 2 weeks ago. About the times that we've all seen Pat Benatar when we did the big Pat Benatar episode, Neil Giraldo, and yeah, okay.
All good answers.
I guess we were at the fridge at that moment, Charles.
Yeah, I guess
No,
so.
I'm seeing
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Pittsburgh.
Nice, Monique. Boom. Nice.
Monique is my cousin. All right, Monique. Way to go.
Monique. Right on. Okay. So, after 3 questions, let me take this down.
You got 3 different people.
We
Three-way
have
tie.
Sandra Pokorney, Monique, and Mr. Mick in a three-way tie. We have a tiebreaker in store for you. All right, let me find it. Where did I put it? There it is. Okay, so
Tiebreaker.
tiebreaker, and this is between Sandra, Monique, and Mr. Mick.
Yep.
Everybody else, if you type in, it's gonna be hints. So
Yeah. Don't do it, please.
yeah, let
Just
them
them three.
duke it out. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
All right,
There we go.
Sandra and Monique and Mr. Mick, this is for you. I'm going to show you a picture of a guitar player. You're going to tell me who it is. It would be good to guess if you don't know. Just saying. All right, I got it. You ready? Guys and gals, here we go. Need a first and a last name.
Good luck.
This is a really good
boy.
question right here.
Oh boy.
Frank Sidoris. That is close enough there.
Oh,
Wow.
Mr. Mick got it. Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
he corrected.
That's impressive, Mr. Mick. That is absolutely impressive. I wouldn't have spelled it right either. That's awesome.
How the hell did you know that?
Right on. So that is Frank Sidoris, who is the guitar player in Slash and the Conspirators, and he is also the guitar player in Mammoth WVH, who me and Charles are going to see here in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
Mr. Mick, you rock, dude. You're the champion.
Very cool, you guys.
For tonight. Everybody give
Way
me
to go.
Mick. Mr. Mick, I'm going to send you a cool Kurt Hammett pick, my friend. Thanks for being
brother.
here.
Nice.
Nice. All right, let's take down
That was fun.
All right.
Sandra, it's good seeing you, sweetheart. You be well. We'll see you real
See you,
soon.
Sandra.
Sandra, see you. Always great to see you. Everybody give a hand to Sandra.
Nice job, everyone.
We don't see enough of her. Yeah. Nice.
Guys, I got to deal with the dog real quick. I will be right back.
All right.
All right. Let's change back to our good view right there.
There you go.
All righty. So Charlie, here as of late, a lot of the bands out on the road here in the past couple of years, you played some shows with REO Speedwagon, Pat and Neil, Foghat, big list of shows.
Yep, a lot of shows. Cheap Trick, ZZ Top.
Wow.
Joe Perry. I don't know. Loverboy, who was great. America.
Really? Wow.
I can't even, I leave people out, so apologies, but yeah, a lot of fun. I feel fortunate, and I feel fortunate to be still excited about doing this. So, and I want to thank you guys for having me on, because this was a riot, and so that's it. Excellent.
Yeah. We appreciate you being here too. This has been so much fun, Charlie. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. And I think I owe you a couple of picks, so I'll get those in the mail to you. And
that would be great.
It's nice meeting everybody, and I appreciate being invited on. Thanks.
So Charlie, have you got a guitar pick there handy? You can show me your pick.
Well, Where is it? Where's the camera? There we go.
There it is.
And then my other side.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll send a bunch of these out if I can. I have your address, so I'll send that out.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie.
All right, guys. I'm gonna jump off, and fantastic fun.
Thank you.
It was so much fun. Thank you.
Excellent.
Right there. Appreciate
Everybody,
it.
Charlie Farren.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Charlie. All right. Okay. Let me get back to a decent view there. There we are. All right. Wow.
I heard that you were saying goodbye to Charlie. I still got to take the dog out. I shot back in here because I wanted to say goodbye. I didn't want him to go without getting a chance. So I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You guys and gals, while it is on my mind, we got a couple of weeks of some mammoth stuff happening here on the channel. Very exciting stuff leading up to May the 10th, which is Friday. We don't normally live stream on Friday around here, but that's the date of the show. 2 weeks from now, we're going to be live streaming. You will see more out there on YouTube and social medias, a pre-show party, 6 p.m. Friday, May the 10th, with me and Charles Green out and Cherokee at Harrah's at the Mammoth WVH show. Brendan and Ed could possibly be in here in studio like that.
Yeah, color commentary.
But me and Charles are going to be out and about. So we're going to do this live stream in the hour before the show. Hour 15, Ed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan,
man. The meet and greet stuff is mid-afternoon. So we'll have some downtime, but we'll go live here on the channel at 6 on Friday, May the 10th. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, keep that in mind. And while we're not leaving yet, but do keep in mind we do these Show Me Your Pick episodes absolutely every week. We do all genres. A lot of guitar picks, from a lot of bands in all genres. And so next week, we're going to venture into a genre that we don't normally venture into, Ed, every week.
Really?
But, rock and roll is rock and roll. It all roads, they always lead you back. Always, 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 with no GPS. But so with that said, next week, we're going to be talking about, in episode 197 of Show Me Your Pick, the Commodores.
Awesome.
Holy moly. Yes, we are. Lot to talk about there. Great musicians all the way around. Yeah. And a lot of history there, too.
That was all about Lionel.
Yeah.
That was back in the day when Commodores, this is actually going to be really cool. They have an incredible history.
It's going to be a great show. And I got a bunch of their and Lionel's band's guitar picks. So looking forward to talking about the Commodores. Wow. My sister used to drive me crazy when I was a kid with Commodores. So you can pretty much guess how old I was at the time and what was going on. We'll probably talk about it next week.
Yeah.
But that's next Saturday night here on the channel. The Commodores. We talk Van Halen or Mammoth WVH every Tuesday on the channel. We call that Halenville Live. And we show our colors proudly on Tuesday, but we're going to be doing some Mammoth WVH coverage this coming Tuesday and the following Tuesday, and we're going to have a Mammoth, a Show Me Your Pick Mammoth 2 at the concert recap. And that'll be the day after the concert on Saturday, May 11th. So
and you know, of course, everyone's gonna want to know how much we lost, Tony, because
well,
you lost.
look,
yeah.
Christopher Silva, he knows. I'm going to be at the Cherokee Casino with my buddy Tony. It is one of the nicest gambling places in the United States of America. It's hard to beat Cherokee Casino for beautiful gambling, and so yeah, we're there.
Right on. But so on Show Me Your Pick on following night on Saturday, hopefully the big haul is not from the casino. The big haul is from the concert venue, all the guitar picks that Wolf and his band hooked us up with. We're going to show on Saturday.
Yes, and we should certainly have a lot of great stuff to show and some really cool stories to tell.
Well, I don't know if Charles wins $10,000 and
I'm serious,
you get
man.
a couple picks.
The
What's
more
better?
I think about it, my daughter even got involved in it, and Taylor hasn't even put her 2 cents in yet.
Okay.
Well, no, you know what? This is a really special time for me and Tony. We literally deserve this show from
You do.
WVH.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're going to be in such a cool, diverse place with all this stuff going on, we're just going to absorb it, man. It's going to be cool, and we're going to document the whole thing.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
If I win, I win. I lose, I lose. If he wins, he wins. If he loses, he loses. But once you guys know how it went, we're going to have fun either way. So, big show, man. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Let me show you guys a couple of things. I pulled out a bunch of, I showed a Joe Perry. I'm going to show you some local. I pulled out a couple of local stuff that's local to you up there.
Oh, cool.
Charlie in Boston.
Nice.
Baston. All right. So that is Mr. Mick's pick right there.
Well, I hope that Charlie rewatches this and sees these picks.
All right.
That'd be great.
That's Mr. Mick's right there. I'm going to put that aside. You rock, Mr. Mick. All right. So, you know, Aerosmith is out there and they've just rescheduled these dates, Charles.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I can't believe we actually have the opportunity to see Aerosmith again. We got to jump on that, Tony. We can't let that go.
This is the pick that we showed during the show for trivia.
Yep.
Okay. And Joe got these made a couple 3 years ago when they did the Vegas residency that they did, and it was right after that image was on their first old little van bus, and the guys from the show, what is it, Ed?
Oh, the American Pickers.
They discovered it in the woods, abandoned in a junkyard, and
in Western Massachusetts.
Aerosmith, the original Aerosmith, and they revamped it and everything and made a show, and Aerosmith's in it. It's very cool. You've seen it, right?
It is.
All right. Speaking of Joe Perry. Now, this is an older Joe. Now, I haven't showed this pick
Nice.
Since our very first
Whoa.
episode,
Whoa.
right here on Show Me Your Pick, this was episode number 1, Charles.
That's right.
Is that a heavy? Is that a Fender heavy?
That looks heavy. Yeah.
It's
That's pretty thick.
It's a 1. It is.
Oh, it's only a 1? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a 1. But yeah, I hadn't shown that one. So this is local to you, Ed.
That's sweet. Fenway.
Wow.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, I know some people who went there for that show. Amazing.
Wow.
I mean, Steven Tyler with a white piano up on the green monster playing not Sweet Emotion.
Don't want to miss the thing.
No.
Dream on. Dream on.
Yeah, Dream On. Thank you. I couldn't think of it.
I'm sorry. I'm having flashbacks over here.
Now we showed this one just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that's nice.
But
That's
that was from last
outstanding.
spring, yeah. And
Beautiful.
I want to say I looked on the website.
That's a great pick.
All of you go to charliefarren.com. We looked at a bunch of images from his website, but he opened this show, Ed.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let me show you this because I'm going to send this to Mr. Mick. I'm going to send him a new decal.
All right.
Brendan B. Squared decal
Sweet.
with his new Kurt Hammett M72 pick.
That is
The yellow ones.
So cool.
Now those we do have, let me get back to another view. We do have some Kurt Hammett ones that his guy gave me about a year ago, that the green ones, and we've been giving those, but these yellow ones from the tour, I've got a couple more, so yeah, I'm gonna be hooking you guys up. You can't find these yellow ones out there. Yeah.
Nice.
Let me show you this. And this guy, apparently, I'm gonna show you this drumstick. This fella he's deceased. The original drummer for Blackberry Smoke.
Oh.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. So, let me show you one pick without changing views again. New in the house. I hadn't seen one like this. I see a bunch of guitar picks, Ed, from the birthday bash.
Well, what year was that one?
From various years. Let me ask you this first, just because I seriously don't know the exact date. I know Steve Anderson knows because he goes down there a bunch to Cabo for the birthday bashes. But what was the first year that they had it? Since you're the big Sammy Hagar guy.
Oh, God. I want to say that it was in the late 90s. I don't remember. I mean, I know they opened it at around 90, 91 with Van Halen and blah, blah, blah. And then Sammy bought him out and all that stuff. I want to say it was at least 20 years now, at least.
Look at this.
October 96?
96?
95?
95.
Wow. Yeah, I thought it was around the late 90s, but I guess earlier than that.
I've never seen one as old as this. Is why,
Yeah. Yeah, hang on to that sucker.
yeah, is why I grabbed this when I saw it. October '95
Yeah.
birthday bash. Wait a second.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's the only thing new in the house. Kind of a slow week. What else am I forgetting before I forget? Nothing. I think I got it licked for tonight, fellas. All right. What a show. That was so much fun,
Charlie is
Charles
fantastic.
and Ed, to hang out and get to know Charlie, and oh my gosh.
We could do another show with him because I'm sure he has so many stories and whatnot.
His band, Fahrenheit, they opened up every show of the Boston Third Stage Tour when they came back. They had Amanda as their single. Hell yeah. They opened every damn date on that tour, Fahrenheit did.
Originally, it was supposed to be 75 dates, and they bumped it up and added more, at least 20 dates after. I think it came out to about
big
9.
Tour.
Yeah, it was
That was
huge.
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 It was huge. I mean, Boston coming back like that, and they played the original album, I swear to God, song for song, start to finish. And they sounded exactly like they did on the album. And I love when bands do that. But and Tom had his whole setup weird. I mean, the guy was like a nutty professor. He had all kinds of weird shit on the stage, and he had that old organ thing going on and everything. But that's the Boston sound, and you know, you could probably replicate it nowadays, but back then he had to bring all that equipment with him and take it out of his basement in Cambridge or whatever it was, wherever he lived in Boston, and bring it along because that's what he made it with, and he had to replicate that to a T on stage every night for almost 100 shows.
Let me say this too. I know you popped in during trivia, Jimmy Ray, but it's good to see you, my brother.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Done right. Jimmy Ray rocks.
You hopped in, man. Good to see you. Good to see all you guys and girls tonight.
Yeah.
That was fun for trivia.
Yeah.
That was fun tonight.
Jay just went away with it. Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah. Jay's good. All of you are good. I'm looking at all the names. You guys, there's winners. Every single name I'm looking at right now has won here on this channel. So, you know, it's like golf, you know. Some weeks, Mr. Nick, some 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row does what the Scotty Scheffler Tigers, you know. They get on a roll, but they're all good, you know. They're all good.
Yeah.
They are all good, and all of you have won, and that's so much fun each week to play. Yeah, and I enjoy writing these questions too.
You know what? You can tell because when you present them, I'm like, God damn, that sounds awesome. That is a great question. Wow, he must have put a lot of thought into that one. The way you phrase stuff sometimes, I was like, well, okay, you have to.
That's the question though, is in the phrasing,
right?
You
know, because these people know a lot of crap.
I know.
They do.
And it's kind of like stump the Trump kind of thing.
We do have questions that are the same, you know, complete the next line, and stuff that we lean on because they are fun, and they become staples around here. But for the rest, for the majority, I do try to mix them up. I do.
Yep.
And not try to write them. I know you guys and girls in the chat, and you come often, and I've gotten to know you and your musical taste and likes and whatnot. So if I write a certain question in this genre, I can look and see who might be the likely takers, Charles, of that. But that's why I try to keep it a balance and totally mix it up as much as I
You get mixed up
can.
incredibly well, and they're
What's up, Jay?
absolutely
Santiago?
wonderful. Right on, Jay.
Yeah, so I try to make it questions for everybody when we do it. And you know, but yeah, one of these days we're gonna do it where Charles and Ed are gonna write 10 questions, okay? And
I would love that.
they can pick the week, and I'll put it out there now because this is really super, super, super fun. And we might have to give an extra prize, other than a guitar pick away. But if they can write the questions, 10 questions, how this 10-shot rock and roll trivia game began is we would invite somebody from the chat into the live stream.
Ooh.
Okay. We put a link in the chat. You click on that. You come in the live stream with us.
Yep.
I leave the room. I take my phone with me. I take the headphones off.
Oh,
I go to the fridge,
yeah.
and Charles asks our guest, our contestant, the 10 questions, only him. And we see how he's done. They send me a text message to come back. I come back in, sit back down. I have no knowledge of nothing for the past few minutes. They tell me how many our guests have got correct out of the 10. And then they ask me the same 10 questions. And then you see who wins, either me or the guest.
We haven't done that for over a year.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
But that was so much fun.
That is fun.
What happened was the same group, the same core group would want to come in, and it dawned on me at that point that there's a lot of people in the chat who really, for a variety of reasons, cannot come on this live stream to play. So by excluding them, it's fun for us, but it's not fun for them. They just get to watch along is all. They don't get to play or win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So by doing it like this, how we do it now, it involves everybody, and it's anybody's game. And
and we get to know our live chat people a little better, at the same time.
That's the best part. That is the best
part. Seeing a face to match the name.
That's right.
If you don't already know them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is one of the pluses of doing what we do here with these live streams is the people that we've met, the people that I can't tell you. I could do a whole show on the people that I've met doing these live streams since 2020. You know, it's just unreal. You know,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
wonderful people that when we started this, me, Steve, and Sandra, I had no idea what road, you know, how many. I hope we can keep this going.
See you, Jay.
See you, Jay.
Right on, Jay. Be well, brother.
All right. Thank you.
But it has brought us to some pretty dang good company. This being the 4th year. Yeah.
You know who I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I kind of wish we could get back on here soon. Would be Perry.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a big Firehouse fan. I
Yeah.
love that band. I love everything he did in Firehouse. I love everything he did in Striper. But my affinity for him is Firehouse.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh, then you got Brian Young. He was on once, and he had a lot more to say too. I mean,
Yeah,
I watched that show. I wasn't on obviously with you guys, but
yeah,
I watched that show. I thought to myself, "Wow, he's got some great stories, man."
yeah. He told us in the green room.
The
Green
Santa
room
Dave
stories were better
thing.
than what was on the show. I couldn't
Oh,
believe.
really?
Yes,
Oh my! I
yes.
can only imagine.
It was fun with Perry. You know, that band is one of my favorite bands of all time, Firehouse.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They were here locally in their other bands. We knew their other bands and all the clubs around here in North Carolina. We, you know, I've done 196 of these, and as big
Oh,
a Firehouse fan as I am, and had Perry Richardson on as a guest on a Striper show. You ask, well, why ain't you done a Firehouse show yet? You know, you love them, and yeah, there's good reason because we are and still and will be patiently now. Were very close to getting Bill Leverty on as a guest, um,
Oh.
and have have been patient with that, but with CJ's passing,
yes.
um,
Rest in
yeah,
peace, man.
that's gonna but there's yeah. There's literally thousands of Show Me Your Pick episodes to go, so no hurry, I guess, to do Firehouse. Although I'm chomping at the bit, I got a lot of cool stuff. I got their picks from before Firehouse, White Heat. Oh man,
Nice.
yeah,
Way
but
cool.
yeah, waiting on a proper show to do Firehouse because we love Firehouse around here. Yeah, we do.
Yep. Yep.
All right. All right, guys and girls, I guess we're going to wind things down for the evening. This has been so much fun. Show me your pick to remember. Yes, another big round of applause again. Let me find the card. Thank you, Charlie Farren.
Absolutely.
All right.
What an awesome guest. Very cool.
Yes, known
Very
as
cool.
America's special guest. I meant to introduce him like that at the start of the show.
Yeah.
I don't think it came out. You know, I'm like, I didn't say that. I meant to. Yeah.
It's okay.
Nah, but that was so much fun, dudes.
Yeah, it was.
Brendan,
He's a great guy.
love you, bro.
Right
Have
on,
fun,
Brendan.
man.
Yeah,
You
thanks,
enjoy
Brendan.
that vacation. Jeez.
Enjoy your little vacation. Yep.
Yeah, they got another day, and they're coming back back at it next week. Ed and Charles, this has been fun.
It was.
we'll see y'all on Tuesday. We hope to see everybody back here on Tuesday. And remember to come back here next Saturday night where we are. No, that's not it. That's what she said, right? We're talking the Commodores. That's next Saturday night. That's what she said too.
Right on, man.
That's next Saturday. Leave a thumbs up right there on the video on your way out. You know, that helps things here. It helps things chug along. If you're subscribed here already, thank you so much. This is so much fun. Thanks for sharing in this fun with us each time. You know, this is our fun night, and yeah, it's always great when you guys are here with us. You know who you are. We love your company. Thanks for being here. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. A lot of cool stuff here on the channel. Rock memorabilia and guitar picks on Saturdays, and Van Halen on Tuesdays. That's every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. All right. That's your Van Halen night right there. You know. So you need a Van Halen fix, just wait till Tuesday.
Sorry, guys.
That's what you got. All right. We're out of here. Ed DeBrill, Charles Green, on behalf of Brendan B.
Be well.
Thank you, Charlie Farren. We're out of here.
You rock,
Have
Charlie.
a great Sunday. Keep it in the short grass. Hit it straight.
Yep.
Yes. We're out. See you, fellas.